Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about a wheel. We're going to talk about the Cube GT-X2, which is kind of a water divider in terms of do you like how it looks or do you don't like how it looks. I personally love how this wheel looks. And then we have Kieran, for example, in the Sensit Esports Racing team. He hates it, but he says that it's growing on him. So I think that this wheel has the appearance that kind of either you love it or you hate it. But I'm definitely on the love it side. But I mean, let's get into the review, shall we? So today we're talking about the Cube Controls GT-X2 wheel, but first I just want to make a little recap of what has happened. The Sensit Esports Racing team had two teams in the spot 24. One team finished around P30 and the other one somewhere around there as well. We had some issues with crashing, issues with, pit stops and all of those things that can happen, but it was the first event that the team actually participated in and we had two cars, so I'm actually super stoked about that. And now we're looking forward to the Indy 6 hours that is 4th to 5th of September. So it's going to be fun. So if you're looking for a race team to join, definitely join the Discord, send me a DM and, welcome to the team. There's no qualifications to join the team as long as you want to race. We don't look at the iRating or your license. So you're welcome to join. And if you're a good sport about it and you behave well, you're going to be in the team. So it's very inclusive and it's fun. The Discord is fun. Also the Simit Discord is fun. It's growing. So, follow the link in the description to join the Discord and I'll see you there. So with that said, let's get on to the review of the Cube Controls GT-X2. And as you can see, the design, it's clean, it's sharp, it feels modern, but kind of has a little bit of a classic element to it. And like I said, there's a few things that I love with it and a few small quirks that I think you maybe should know before you buy this wheel. So let's start with pricing on the GT-X2. The pricing starts around $13.50, excluding shipping. And then depending on what kind of choices you make, if you want an anodized hub, if you want another color, if you want the 300mm or the 320mm grips, the price will obviously go up. So depending on the choices that you make, the wheel goes from around $13.50 up to $1,700. So like I said before, it is a premium wheel at a premium price point, but you also have an amazing feel in this wheel and we're going to get into that a little bit more. And that brings me to the design and the build of the GT-X2. And it has a carbon fiber reinforced polymer front plate, that's a mouthful, and a die-cast aluminum back. So it's really lightweight, it's under 1.4 kilos, which is really nice. So it's not heavy to handle and it drives fine on the different wheelbases that I've tried it. I've tried it on my Simucube 2 Pro and I've tried it on my Simagic Alpha Evo Pro. And it feels nice on both of these wheelbases. And if we look at the grips of the wheel, I mean, they are super nice. They're rubber, they're actually soft. So when you press them, you can feel some resistance, which I think is nice. There's also no stickiness to it. So there's no dust or lint getting stuck. And I mean, I think I say that in all of the videos that I really appreciate that because there's nothing more annoying if you want to take some nice photos or make a video if you have lint stuck to it and it's so hard to get away. But, in this case, this wheel has been used now for, quite extensively the last few weeks and no lint, no wear and tear. Of course, I'm always driving with gloves, so it keeps fresh, but it's an amazing feel to the wheel. I really love holding it. So if you take a look at the layout of the wheel and the different inputs, you have 10 buttons, which is full customizable. You have 3 rotary encoders here, which I usually do ABS, traction control and traction control 2. You have 2 thumb encoders. You have 2 funky switches. You have front and rear toggle switches. You have one here, one there. And you have a big 5-inch touchscreen display with resolution at 854 by 480. And if we look at the back, you have the shifters and the clutches. And if we just take a moment to listen to the sounds of the wheel, which I think is really nice. As you hear of the buttons, they have a really nice click, so you feel it when you pushed it. There's no, you won't miss that you pushed it and you won't push it by mistake. So I think it feels very high quality to hold in. And with the 5-inch touchscreen dashboard that you can, customize in SimHub if you want to run lovely dashboards if you want to run SimHub Zone. It's big, it's easy, and since it's a touchscreen, you can actually, swipe through. So it's like having a DDU, but on your wheel, which is super handy if you're running an endurance race or if you can't really fit your DDU for the moment. So I think display on this wheel is actually really nice. It might not have the highest resolution, but it's definitely bright enough and gives you all the information that you need. And if we go back to the shifters and the clutch, you get magnetic Hall effect shifters and dual analog clutch paddles. These are fully adjustable. The paddle feel is crisp, and to be fair, that's something that Cube Controls always kind of delivers on. Their clutch pedals feels really nice. Here, however, you have a small downside. To adjust the throw or the position of these pedals, you need a really small Torx wrench, and the one that's included is too big to fit, so you actually need to find your own Torx, which is, it's not a deal breaker, but it's something that's, good to know. And like, why couldn't you, send the correct one with it straight away? So for me, that was kind of a long presentation of the specs of this wheel. I'm usually very fast through that, but I wanted to try something new. The video is still going to be a manageable time, but now let's get to the more important things about this review, and that is, how does the GT-X2 feel when you're driving? In short, super clean, super composed. I mean, there's zero flex in the faceplate, no rattles, nothing loose, and the grips, you just feel locked in. You don't need to readjust, there's no slip or things like that. And also one thing that I really liked, which was one thing that Wesley from Grid and Go actually also pointed out to me, was that when you turn, you still have, this full side where you have some support. So it actually gives you confidence to do a bit more narrow turns. So that's actually a plus that I don't even know if they actually thought about it when they made the wheel, but that's something that I really like about it. It's very user-friendly, not heavy on your wrist or something. It's super easy to change mid-race without having to look too much on the wheels because you know where it is. And that's another thing that I really like with this wheel, and that is how the buttons are placed. You have 2 buttons up here and you have 3 buttons down there. So it's actually super easy to know where the buttons are, how to find them, and you don't accidentally press the wrong button, because some wheels that have too many buttons, you just don't know which one to hit, and if you're busy watching the screen. So it's very, the layout of this wheel is actually very pleasing compared to what I thought it would be when I started using it. And like I said, the wheel is around 1.4 kilos, so it's not a very heavy wheel, but it's very balanced, and even when you push harder, if you have a high force feedback, it actually feels good in the wheel. Also, if you're a low feedback, 8-9 newtons, you still have a lot of detail that actually passes through the wheel to your hands. And then if you crank it up, it doesn't mean that your hands get destroyed or everything just, start to fade away. So this wheel actually delivers a really nice force feedback feeling from your wheelbase. So I think it actually does what you expect it to do for a €1,500 wheel. And like I said, with the button placement, that means that even if you drive in VR, you kind of have the same. It's easy to know where the buttons are. There's not too many buttons to press. So if you're a VR racer and you want a wheel that's comfortable during long stints and it's easy to know where the buttons are, this is definitely a wheel that I think you should check out. To customize the wheel, of course, you have fully customizable buttons and all the encoders and all of those things, but there you have CubeSet, which is Cube Control's own software. There you can set, the bite points and all of the analog things with the clutches. And then you have SimHub, which is amazing for LEDs, for the dash, and for all of those things where you can really customize the wheel to look exactly how you want it. One thing that Cube haven't really integrated is on-wheel customization. Brands like Solpec, I know Grey Wolf does that on their wheel. Cube hasn't come there, and there's a lot of brands that has not yet done that, but I think that's a really nice addition if you own a wheel and you don't want to use SimHub to make small changes all the time, or the proprietary software that the brand are using. So if we summarize the plus and minus points from the Cube Control GT-X2, what I really like are the grips, the buttons, the display, that it's lightweight and also good for lower Newton meter bases and high Newton meter bases. Everything is adjustable and it's VR friendly. I suck at VR and I barely do any VR, so for me that's, it's a positive, but that's not a positive that actually gives me like, oh, I need this wheel. So when it comes to the things I wasn't particularly a fan of or things that could improve, I would say that Paddle adjustments, you need your own tools. I mean, they will send a tool with the wheel, but that tool is too big to fit when you want to do the adjustments. So that's kind of an annoying piece. It's not a deal breaker, like I said earlier, but it's annoying. The faceplate materials, obviously it's sturdy and it is a composite material that is very durable, but in some cases it might look a bit plastic. I don't know, it's up to you to kind of decide if you think it looks plastic. The rear toggles, these ones, I don't even think you can see them. They feel a little bit fragile, like you could actually break them. I haven't used them for anything yet, so it's not really something that I mind, but if I use them for something, I think that it might be something I would worry about a little bit. The RGB LEDs could be a bit more consistent, and there's no built-in tuning on the screen, but like I said, I don't think I own any wheel that has that so far. That's definitely something that I think is nice, and I would like to have it. So should you buy the Cube Controls GT-X2? Well, I mean, if you want a proper GT wheel, super comfortable, looks clean, performs well across all racing types, don't feel as heavy and over-designed as competitors. If you want a wheel that works great across GT and Formula cars, and you actually want to feel the force feedback in a good way, yeah, then this is definitely a great option. Is it best value? Well, maybe not quite, but is it one of the best balanced and redefined wheels out there? Yeah, I'd say it's up there. I'm actually super happy with how this wheel feels when I'm driving. So let me know in the comments, do you drive the GT-X2 or are you just interested in getting one? And if so, which wheel are you getting, the 300 or the 320? And if you have it, have you had any issues with the paddle switches when you wanted to change the throw of them? Also, don't forget to check out the Discord, link in the description, so you can join and see all the giveaways, the small competitions, and just, share knowledge and talk to like-minded people. We would love to have you there. And I think that's it. Don't forget to like and comment on this video and subscribe to the channel. Have a good one.